Hello and welcome to New Heights Youth Outreach Centre. I'm Sam and I'm going to be running your induction for today. Now, as a new employee, it's really important that I give you the safe practices revolving around workplace health and safety. So today, I'd like to take you on a general site tour to introduce you to all the different gear and the different sites and spaces that we have at the facility, to introduce you to all our staff, but most importantly, to introduce you to our workplace health and safety policy and procedure document, and which I'm going to give you now. It's really important that you familiarize yourself with this document, and which you'll be allocated time to do so. Within this document, you will find the policies and procedures on workplace health and safety, equipment use and maintenance, our emergency response plan, risk assessments for all the activities we conduct, record keeping and recording processes, safe manual handling guide, and the process for dealing with and reporting an incident, as well as any other specific details related to our outdoor recreation business here. So it's really important, as I said before, that you familiarize yourself with this document, but let's have a little bit of a look around. So here we are, we're in our gear shed. You can see our 12-seater bus behind us, and then over the back we've got some canoeing gear, some life jackets, some fishing rods, some surfboards, and then scattered around the place in different storage units we have some mountain bikes. Up in our office we have all of our climbing and camping gear, as well as cooking equipment. Now each of these different each of the equipment that we use here has its own storage space. Now it's really important that we keep these storage spaces clean and organized and free from any clutter. So to that way, we're always coming in to a safe working environment. Some other general housekeeping that I'd like to run you through is that we have a toilet up the back if you need, and our office space is always available if you need to do any computer work. Which leads me on to saying, when it comes to sitting down at the computer, it's really important that every 2 hours you get up, you have a bit of a walk around and you move around. Our staff here are very friendly. When it comes to using any of the equipment, if you don't know how to use anything, we will always run you through how to use it. But if you're still unsure, someone is more than happy to jump in and give you a further explanation. It's really important, if you find anything too heavy or too much to handle, that you ask for help. There's always going to be someone here. Once again, refer to our policy and procedures document if you are unaware of our safe manual handling practices. So let's just have a little look here at something I'd like to go over with you. All of the gear in our gear shed is regularly checked, which means that it's always up to scratch, it's always in safe working condition. We have a equipment use logbook in which it's really important that you sign in and out all of the gear that you use. That way we're keeping a documented record of where the gear goes, what's happening with it, and in that use logbook you will find a section in which you can report any damaged or broken equipment. Now this is really important that you notify the other staff members or our team leader if something has happened and something's gone wrong, so that we are not using any dodgy or broken equipment. Now what I'd like to run you through is, as a guide, it's really important that you have the appropriate personal protective equipment. And what I mean by that is wearing things like a hat, sunglasses, warm gear, rain jackets, enclosed shoes, and that you dress appropriately and you present yourself well, because it's really important for our clients that they feel a sense of trust. And when you present yourself well, when you look legitimate, it instills a sense of trust in our clients, and it also shows them that you're a professional in the industry and that you care about the type of quality of work that you're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to have a little bit of a look at some of the things that I would expect a group leader to take out with them. So first of all, it's really important that every group leader is going to have a backpack, okay? And in that backpack, most importantly, is a first aid kit, all right? I've got mine wrapped up in a waterproof bag. As I was saying before, I take sunnies with me. I take my water bottle. I'm going to take a head torch, a rain jacket, hand sanitizer, a lighter, and a knife. Now, of course, there are other things or personal items that you can take with you. I also like to take some food, just to make sure that we're always going to be safe when we're running an outdoor activity. No matter what happens, we're always prepared, and we've always got things with us that, if we so need, we can rely upon to get ourselves out of a difficult situation. Here behind me, we have our 12-seater bus. Now, it's really important that before you use the bus, you always make sure that you check that you've got your license on you before you go anywhere, and that you fill out the vehicle log as well. So that's documenting the odometer reading, and then you'll fill in that vehicle log again once you've finished the activity, and then once again you'll document the vehicle log again. You'll be able to find the vehicle log inside of the glove box, and there'll be a pen there for you to fill out the odometer reading. Some of the other things to consider when using a vehicle is to make sure that you check the tires to make sure there's sufficient air, and that you report any damage that happens to the car on your trip, and which can be reported to the team leader, and that is super necessary. Driving the vehicle is a very important responsibility, and it's not something to be taken lightly. So make sure that you're always getting into the car in a clear and sensible mind state. You're not angry or upset about something that's happened early in the day, because you have a considerable amount of people's lives in your hand every time you get in that car. So just to reiterate and to finalize our general induction here for a new employee, I'd just like to go over a couple of things. Now, we, the business, New Heights, have the responsibility to ensure that we provide a safe work environment for our staff and for our clients and for our visitors. This is really important to us. We have that responsibility, and we have the documentation detailing the procedures and the practices that are involved around providing that to those people that are most important to us. So something else that I'd like to touch on before we wrap up is the importance of providing safe property, safe working systems, and safe people. And that is so important to us here. We expect that our employees, as I was saying earlier, familiarize themselves with our workplace health and safety policies and procedures document, and that they follow those policies and those procedures that are outlined in the document. That is also really important for us as well. And that's why we allocate and facilitate enough time, and we open the line if there are any questions or anything that you might need to know, to ask one of the group leaders or our team leader, so that you can really be up to scratch, so that you make sure that you as a staff member are going to carry yourself in a safe and appropriate way, and aren't going to create any unnecessary hazards or any situations that are going to put yourself or anyone else in danger for that matter. The document that we have is reviewed periodically. So what we mean by that is that we go through a review process and make sure that all the legislation and all the documentation is up to scratch, and it's current, and it's relevant as well. So once again, if you have any questions or you're unsure about anything, please just ask. That is so important, because we don't want you going out onto any of our activities, not knowing what you're doing or not knowing how to use any of the equipment, because that will create an unsafe situation. So please just make sure that you ask. Workplace health and safety is a major priority here at New Heights, and we want to ensure that everybody involved is going to go home to their families safe and happy. Uh, so if you need to report any incidents, you can do so through me or the team leader. And if you don't feel comfortable to do that, you're encouraged to contact Worth Safe Australia, which is the legislative body. And you can find their contact details in your copy of the Workplace Health and Safety Policies and Procedures document. Um, so that wraps up our induction today. As I said, if you have any questions, just hit me up, ask me, and I'm happy to answer any of those questions and help you in any way I can. I hope you've enjoyed the induction, and welcome to New Heights.